So first thing I want to do is I want to give an update on my son Christian's therapies. So he first of all is 3 years old and does go to school full time. So he goes Monday through Friday. He also has ABA therapy. He used to have ABA 2 times a day, and in between that he would go to school. That's how it started last year. This new school year I decided to lower the ABA and focus more on school because I did notice that he was doing a lot better at school versus any other therapies. So I wanted to give him more of the social environment that he thrived in. He loves being around kids. It doesn't seem like he does, but he learns better with kids surrounding him. So it's kind of like he looks at what they're doing and tries to follow their lead, which is the whole point of him being in school. He has 4 neurotypical kids in his class, and 3, including himself, have autism. So it's kind of like they're supposed to interact with the kids that are neurotypical so that they could see normal socializing environment is like. So right now he has ABA from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 4 to 6, and he has speech 3 times a week as of right now. He goes Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it's a lot of work for him. It sucks because he doesn't really get a break throughout the week. He has Saturday and Sunday off, but throughout the week it's like he wakes up, he goes to school, and then he gets out of school early some days and goes to speech, and then directly from speech he starts ABA. So it's a lot, and he only has from 6 to 8 to kind of relax. And I give him that relaxing time and let him do his own thing, but at the same time it makes me feel like, should I be doing more for him? Should I be interacting more? Should I play with him? I do play with him, but I feel like, should I be doing more ABA, like table work with him? I know that I have to read more to him, definitely. I know that recently when I take him to the bathroom, I've been singing to him, kind of like what ABA is supposed to be doing. So we do ABCs, we count 1 through 20, and he loves it. He looks at me so much, and he smiles and laughs, and he kind of does like a little bit of a joining in, not talking or anything, but he kind of puts in a little bit of his sounds, so that's awesome. ABA, what they really do right now, what they're focusing on is, I have an email that kind of tells me what they work on that I wanted to talk about. So he gets a program set up by his BCBA, and the RBT is supposed to follow through with it. So he does puzzles with knobs, which is just working on grasping the knob. So it's not necessarily to put the piece in, it's just he's supposed to try to grasp the puzzle, and I believe he's supposed to put it in a little cup. So it's all about working on his fine motor skills. He has matching 3D objects, which is trying to match 3D objects. And then he has receptive instruction, so listening comprehension. Every time an instruction is given, the trial should be closed. So it's just kind of like, do this, and he's supposed to follow through. Do this, touch your nose. He's supposed to try to imitate what he's seeing. Hey, Christian, pat your head. Pat your head. Do this, Christian. Pat your head. Pat your head. Good job. Ready? Do this. Do this. Shake your head no. Shake your head no. Shake your head no. Christian, open your mouth. Open your mouth. Okay. Christian, do this. Yay! They're working on toilet training, so every time the RBT comes in, she takes him to the bathroom. They work on the whole routine, which is him turning the doorknob, turning on the light, pulling down his shorts, pulling up the toilet seat, the toilet cover, sitting down. The whole point is him going to the restroom, but it's still iffy to this day. He had it down so good. I still had him on pull-ups, but he would not wet them anymore. You know, he was doing really well, and then all of a sudden he regressed and is not really voiding. I'll catch him when he's doing number 2, and I'll take him to the restroom. Pee is on and off. It's not very It's not all the time, so it varies. But that's something that they're working on. He has to wash his hands, and then he does well with transitions from home, school, ABA, speech. Only when he's really tired or really hungry does he get really frustrated and doesn't want to do things. It kind of sucks when he has to go from speech to ABA because he doesn't get a chance to eat really, or he has to eat at a certain time. He'll get like 10 minutes to quickly eat before they start the session. Sometimes he's not hungry at that time, or when I'm trying to feed him good food and I know he's gonna be like, I don't want it, and I have to sit there and wait him out. I can't really wait him out. He has to have his therapy, and if he's hungry through therapy, that just makes a horrible therapy session. So it's a struggle. I'm happy with ABA. I think it's something that was necessary, but right now I feel a little bit like I'm not sure what I should do next, because he is going on to 4 years old and I see a lot of improvement, but I don't know if it's ABA or if it's school or if it's just his age. The thing about ABA is you don't get an instant gratification. You don't see an instant improvement. With Christian, it's always been months of repetition, putting the puzzle piece and putting the same puzzle piece, doing the same things over and over again, where it just finally clicked. But I don't see that as much right now. Before, he was doing months of doing okay, sometimes doing bad and then doing really well, but I haven't seen that recently. I only see him just kind of at a standstill, and I don't know if it's gonna get better, if I should continue to have him do it, if it's not a waste of time, but I could be working with him as well. He doesn't have to be doing ABA. We could just be doing mom and son based things to try to help him out. I know speech is really important. He is nonverbal, and it's something that he needs to work on for a long time. You know, I'm sure, I'm hoping that he'll talk one day, and if he doesn't talk, then that's okay, but I need him to be able to communicate, so that's always going to be necessary. Speech is also kind of, it's hard because you work on something for so long. We've been at it since July, I believe, and it's November, and it's still kind of like, what has he learned? What has he achieved? I ask myself that with a lot of things. School, I see it. I mean, he has learned a lot from school, but the other two is, I'm always questioning, like, how long have you been doing it, and how much of an improvement have we seen? And I know I need to be patient, but I just want to make sure that it is moving forward and I am doing the right thing for him. It's just, in speech, he does a lot of imitation also, so I'll sit behind him and we'll do the movements, pat your head. I'll kind of move his arm with my hand, his elbow, so that he knows kind of like, hey, you got to get going, and he'll pat the head. He has that down pretty good. He'll feed the baby. He knows that now from so many times doing it, that he's doing pretty good with that. Anything new that you initiate, though, he's kind of like, I don't know, I'm not gonna do it. So it always takes forever for him to understand that he needs to do what you're doing, and once he has it down, he has it down. So we're doing that. We're still working on PECs. I still work on PECs at home too. It's hard though, because it has to be practical. I can't do it for every little thing. He will get frustrated and he's pointing at it. He's like, I want that, come on mom, give me that. I can't just be like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about, let's get the PECs, because he's feeling ignored. So we are working on PECs still, and they're working on PECs over there as well. They're working on identifying things. So she'll put 2 flashcards, and it'll be a rabbit and it'll be a tree, and she'll say, Christian, point to tree, and he has to point to tree. Last time he got, I believe, 6 out of 9 right the first time, but then later on in the session she tried again and it was like 2 out of 6. So it's so hard to understand like what he really understands if the how he's doing it always changes, even like within like 15 minutes. It could be because he's frustrated, it could be because he's bored, but whatever it is, it makes us not be able to see what he's learned and what he hasn't learned. With speech, with me at home, I always try to make sounds come out. I want him to try, but I always feel bad because I don't know what he can and cannot do. So with his voice, I don't know what is actually, like, am I torturing him? Because when he wants something and he's pointing at me, and I tell him, what do you want, Christian? Do you want mommy to come? And he points at me. Okay, I could get up at that point, or I could be like, say mommy, Christian, say say mommy. And I see him sometimes really struggling, like trying to get it out. Sometimes the sound comes out, but I ask myself, like, am I torturing him? Is it really hard? Does it feel like he's trapped inside his little body, like his little voice? Like, yes, I want to say mom, but I can't say it. It's hard to know like how far to push. And it's hard to talk about it too. With everything that I do, I want to push him to do his best. I want to do what's best for him, but he's still a kid. And it's autism is not everything. It's not who he is. It's something that he deals with, but it's not who he is. And I kind of have a problem with it sometimes because I'm so focused on getting him as far as he can go that I focus on it too much. Like, I want to improve this, I want to do this. My husband has a better understanding of like, just, you have to let him be. He's a kid. Something that I'm working on, but I just want to know that I'm doing all I can for him to thrive in this world, to be happy in this world. So right now he's had ABA for like 9 months. He has improved a lot from where he was before. He is a different kid from even before ABA, but I just don't see the little things. Like, can he do a puzzle now? Can he do, if you put a puzzle in front of him, an easy puzzle, will he be able to do it? No. Can he go, does he potty train? No. That one's hard though. When you ask him to touch his nose, touch his head, will he touch it? No. But he does have better eye contact, way better eye contact. He follows just basic directions better. So if I tell him, Christian, stop, which is a huge improvement, he will stop most of the time. So when we're out in the park and I tell him, Christian, stop, and he's running away, he will catch himself and be like, oh, my mom told me to stop. That's awesome. That's a big improvement. He knows the routine for potty. He knows what a potty is, so that's good too. He knows how to help me change him, so he'll help me with pushing his foot down for the shoe. He'll help me with putting his legs through the holes. He'll help me for the shorts. He'll help me put on his shirt. He doesn't have a problem with brushing his teeth, which is awesome. So he does have a sensory issue where he loves just anything that gives him a sensory relief. He does this a lot where he wants like a jaw pressure release. He doesn't have self-harming behavior, which is I'm so thankful for. He is a picky eater, but I mean, most 3-year-olds are. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad. He is way more happier now, maybe because he feels like he can communicate better, because he points more now. He has his own way of communicating, and everybody that knows him knows this about him. They always tell me he doesn't talk, but he can tell you what he wants without a problem. So I'm so happy about that. He tries to play more with all of us. Like he wants our interaction now versus just being alone. Before, he didn't care if we were there or not, so that's a great improvement as well. But he's turning 4, and I see a lot of improvement. But like I said, I don't know if it's because of all the therapies or in combination with him just growing up and having all these therapies. I don't know what I'm gonna do later on, going on to next year, if I'll have less ABA and focus more on school, because school is the priority. He is gonna be in school for, it seems like forever. He's just starting. He's in pre-K, so I want him to be ready to be able to do school. It doesn't have to necessarily be a regular kindergarten class. It could be an IEP program. It could be what he has right now. But I want him to be able to walk in line like he does right now, follow directions, pay attention, sit down in his seat how he's supposed to without having to get up all the time. He does a lot of that right now, but he does have problems with focusing. One of his biggest problems is focusing. So if I tell him to do something, he's over here just in his own world, or he ignores you on purpose. He needs to understand that I don't want to do this either. I don't want to clean, right? But I have to clean. So I know you don't want to sit down and do your work, but you have to do it, and once you're done, you'll get your reward, you know? So I want to end this video by saying that I do believe ABA is very important, especially early on in the early years. It is very important. They do help them understand how to socialize, how to play, how to focus, whatever your child specifically needs, they definitely do help out with that. As your child grows, you as a parent, you know your child, you know what is most needed for your child. So it could be occupational therapy, it could be speech therapy, it could be no therapy, and just school. Just make sure that you're doing what you think is best for your child. Go with your gut. Right now I'm debating what's more important, if I should stop something to start something else, or if I should just lower something. It's something that I have to sit down with my husband to discuss, to see what's beneficial for our son. And we could be wrong, and we could go back to doing more therapy. So it's definitely trial and error. Everybody's path is different. Everybody makes mistakes. It's okay, as long as you're doing the best you can as a parent for your child. Just know that you're doing a great job. That's all your child wants, is love. And if you're showing love, and if you love your child, obviously you're gonna do what's best for your child. So you know what's best for your child. Just make sure that your child is happy. I mean, that's the main thing you want. You want to see your child smiling and enjoying life. And I hope that this little update helps anybody somewhere out there deciding what they want to do, or if they have any questions about ABA. I do ABA for my son at home. It's a home-based ABA. Make sure that you are okay with the therapist that comes into your home every day. Make sure that you trust the therapist. If there's no trust, then if you feel something's off, make sure that you say something about it. Definitely, because your child is in the room with somebody for 2 hours or however long. You have to make sure that they're happy and that they are safe. And I don't know about clinical ABA. I've never done it. Sometimes I think about maybe that would be better, because he's in a school setting kind of thing, versus at home. He wants to come out here and play with us, you know? He hears us, he wants to be with us. I don't know exactly what would be better. ABA at home has worked for us in the past. It's working for us now. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. I always do my best to answer all the comments that I see, any questions that I see. I thank you very much for watching this video, for watching it all the way through. If I helped in any way, that makes me feel great. If this was boring, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.